Hey, don't forget, and I want to remind you again of the IDTNG annual conference, Intentionally Discipling the Next Generation, on November 12th. Mark your dates, November 12th, 2022. Intentionally Discipling the Next Generation. What's our theme? Is wisdom discipleship. Hey, parents, teachers, caretakers, grandparents, thank you for coming back again and again and again and being a blessing, being a blessing. And I pray that your journey with your children, journey with your grandchildren, journey with your students would be an amazing journey as you watch some of these episodes. We are on this 7 episode slots, right? We've been doing different A's. Let me bring all those A's. If you have not watched any of those episodes, go back and watch it. We have done 6 A's and we are in the last A. The first A was affirmation, second was acceptance, third was appreciation, then availability, affection, and the last episode we talked about approach. And today, the last A. The last A is accountability. The last A is accountability. In our mentoring journey with our children, with our teenagers, we need to be accountable to them in some ways. Not very transparently. Yes, we need to be transparently accountable to someone, and it could be our own spouse. Sometimes people are very afraid to be transparent with their own spouses, and I see that. I think I would say spouses are the best person with whom we can be totally transparent and accountable, including what we see on our on our Google, and what we Google in, and what we watch, what we read, what we see. I think that's a beautiful place of accountability. Now, my children, all of them know that my wife knows every bit of everything that I type there on Google, every video that I watch, or everything that I read. Even if there is a young person sending me a message on social media, she gets a copy of it. Even if somebody calls me, she gets a copy of it. Now, why did I say my children know? It became very easy when my children hit the teenage years for us to set an accountability structure, because they themselves knew, saying daddy and mommy are accountable to each other. If they can be accountable like that, I think it's okay for us to be accountable. So today, some of my college students, when they go to college, they would always send some of the messages. Not that I'm constantly behind, and sometimes I don't even see some of those messages, but my wife is constantly in touch and just say, hey, great, oh, you reached college, great, mama, I'm just going out to eat something. Fine, you don't have to tell me, go out and eat with your friend. No, I just want to let you know. They've gone overboard today in that place of accountability. Me and my wife sometimes look at each other and said, is that a picture that we have given? So one of my times when I was with some of these teenagers, and I was talking to them and said, you guys have been, doing all of this and sending message. Are you doing it out of pressure? One boy said this. He said, Daddy, it's for our safety. It's good for us to do it. I didn't say anything, and I just said, great, wonderful. The place of accountability is a very important journey with our children, and it starts with us. It starts with us. If I am accountable to my wife and my wife is accountable to me, and the children see it, they will easily become accountable to us. Otherwise, it will be like the ego clashes, the push and the pull, with the tsunamis inside the house, where we are pushing them. You need to be accountable. Where did you go? And things like that. It needs to be an overflow. It needs to be an overflow. Above everything, we need to be accountable to the Lord, and our children need to watch that. The children need to see that. Many a times in my devotions that I do with my children, I would always share some very inside stories of some of those things that are how I dealt with some of the staff in the organization, or with some of the other people there with another places. I sometimes share that. Sometimes I don't tell the names or things like that. They don't need to know the names, but I sometimes share that, and I just tell them, hey, I was not right, and I had to rescript myself, and I had to respond right. Or sometimes I would just say, I was so good, I was so grateful that I responded right, or sometimes I would just say, I could have done it right, I could have done it well. Why this journey? Why this journey of me sharing our children are going to learn from this journey of accountability. They are going to learn to be accountable, which is going to be a safeguard. Now, all of us are called to be in some place of accountability. Without accountability, there is no safety and there is no freedom. This is a beautiful statement that I've always told my children. Freedom comes inside boundaries. In a place of accountability is where there is maximum freedom. G.K. Chesterton makes a beautiful statement. He says this: before you remove a fence, first find out why it was put there in the first place. We have to first keep our boundaries intact. The last A is accountability. Now, accountability is not something that we force, it's something that we live. It should be an overflow that our children need to catch. More things are caught than taught. May the Lord bless you in your journey.